So, at the current time I'm recording this, it's Boxing Day 2024. Hope everybody had a lovely Christmas Day, or whatever holiday you celebrated. But I thought I might as well get this out of the way and talk about the newest Doctor Who episode, Joy to the World, which aired on Christmas Day 2024 and was written by Stephen Moffat. Now, apparently, from what I've heard, this was a case where Russell T Davies called up Stephen Moffat and said to him, "Look, I'm really sorry, I'm currently in the middle of planning for Series 15 or Season 2. I don't have time to complete the Doctor Who Christmas special this year. Do you think you might be able to complete it?" To which Stephen Moffat apparently said, "Not complete it, start again, rewrite everything, sure. But I must warn you, this is the last time I'm doing it. I'm done with this, I'm not writing any more Doctor Who. This is going to be my last episode." To which, I don't know, I still give you of, "This is going to be my last episode. See you next series." Damn it, yeah, sure. To which, maybe this is truly going to be the last Stephen Moffat Doctor Who episode, but then again, he might show up again. I don't know. The episode Joy to the World sees the Doctor encounter, well, he ends up finding the Time Hotel in the future. A hotel where kind of once a year for Christmas, they open up kind of all the doors and allow people to kind of explore the various points in time at Christmas. To which we see World War II during the Blitz, we see the Orient Express in the 1960s, I think it was. 1960s, and we also get to see the expedition up Mount Everest. But I think majority of the episode, does focus around 5 particular characters. Others do show up and are important, but I think the episode mainly focuses around these 5. First up is, of course, the Doctor, played by Ncuti Gatwa. So we see him at the start, kind of just popping into the hotel to get himself some hot milk, presumably for a cup of tea, before he is confronted by another one of the main characters that I'm going to talk about, Trev Simpkins, an employee at the Time Hotel played by Joel Fry, who tries to go tell the Doctor off for using hotel amenities without being a hotel guest. However, the Doctor notices something very strange, a man with a briefcase. And the briefcase seems rather sinister. So, using the excuse of kind of room service, the Doctor picks himself up a pumpkin latte and a ham and cheese toastie, and then acts like he's going through all of the rooms trying to find the man. And ultimately, he ends up coming across a woman. Well, one of the rooms that he goes through takes him to 2024, where he meets a woman named Joy Almondo, played by Nicola Coughlan. This is character number 3 that I think is the most important. She is kind of our surrogate stand-in companion for this particular episode. I mean, we do know that Millie Gibson's Ruby Sunday is coming back next series alongside Belinda Carlisle, the new companion, but for the time being, she's off with her family, and we get to meet our new character, Joy Almondo, a seemingly lonely young woman who is spending Christmas alone at a hotel. Hotel, I think in Manchester, but I know I might be wrong about that. Now, things become rather complicated for Joy when she suddenly has a Silurian enter her room. The Silurian being the Time Hotel's manager, played by Jonathan Aris. Or maybe Aris, I'm not entirely sure. And he has now with the briefcase having been passed from the man who originally carried it to the bartender, then to Trev Simpkins. Eventually, it ends up in the hotel manager's hands. And then it ends up being attached to Joy's hand. The Doctor ends up discovering that what is actually inside the briefcase is known as a starseed, and what he ultimately discovers is that it's a product of the Villengard Corporation. Now this harks back, I think I mentioned this in What We Know About Joy to the World, my previous video on the subject, but Villengard was prevalent in a few of Stephen Moffat's previous Doctor Who episodes. He mentioned it in his first story, The Empty Child for Canon Doctor Who, and it was even mentioned in his last story, as showrunner, which was Twice Upon a Time. But what Villengard are attempting to do is create kind of a transportable power source. And it seems that anyone who is connected with this, the briefcase comes with a kind of handcuff which attaches them to it, and then seemingly takes over their minds, with them repeating a single phrase that something like the starseed will grow, the flesh will go on. I can't remember it off the top of my head at the moment. But anyway, it gets attached to Joy's hand and obviously starts to take her over before the Doctor discovers what it is. In order to briefly deactivate it, he has to know the code, and he doesn't know what it is, only for a future version of himself to come bursting in, reveal the code, but then has to lock the Doctor in the room until he can become. This is one part of the episode that I actually really enjoyed, which is when the future Doctor locks the present Doctor in Joy's hotel room. He has to effectively stay there for an entire year and in order to become the future version of the Doctor that we see. And we get to see him really get to know the hotel's employee that we met earlier, Anita Benn, played by Steph Diwali. And this is, when I first saw the character of Anita Benn in the small clip we got of this particular episode earlier in the year, to me, at first, I just assumed she was going to be that hotel room employee who doesn't really want to be there and is just tired but agrees to help because it's her job. But over time we actually get to know her quite well. See her and the Doctor playing board games, her talking with the Doctor about the police boxes in his room, and him helping her out with various things around the hotel, helping to repair it, keep it in good condition, keep it clean, and they get to have a nice relationship with each other. Such as when the Doctor finally manages to track down where the new entry to the Time Hotel is going to be, and he has to leave her behind. You generally feel sad for her. Someone who he's got to know over the course of a year and who he really got to bond with. It's nice to see. And I do like that she says to him, "Go, do what you have to do. Just, please, don't forget me." To which I felt, for a character that could have just easily been, as I said, that throwaway character who is tired and doesn't want to be there, they made her a nice character. Anyway, the Doctor eventually gets back to the Time Hotel, and we also get another look that we had seen earlier this year with Children in Need, which is with the dinosaur, which is kind of cool. And from here we also get a bit more of a backstory for Joy, and this does link into current events in the past few years. The reason why Joy ends up spending Christmas alone in a hotel is because her mother died on Christmas Day. Her mother was very ill back in 2020, and because of COVID restrictions at the time, Joy wasn't allowed to see her in hospital. She had to basically see her through a Skype call or a Zoom call, whatever. Basically a video call was the last correspondence she got to have with her mother, and her mother died alone. Which means that Joy spends Christmas alone out of guilt because she wasn't able to see her mother at that time. They do also hint about all of the people who said you can't have parties and then partying, which describes Partygate. If you don't know what that is, go and look it up. People got cross about it at the time. But this ultimately brings us to the big moment where they track down the briefcase again. They track down the Starseed. The Doctor gets to have his hero moments across the various times he went to. World War II, the Orient Express, and Mount Everest. But then we come to the ending of this episode, and I'll admit I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it, and I know that there is going to be some upheaval online with certain people about it. Because we get to the end of the episode, the Doctor comes back, and then he discovers the Starseed has gone from the briefcase. Heads outside, where he finds that Joy is there, and she has bonded with it. It also contains the souls of everyone who died because of the Starseed. There's Joy, there's Trev Simpkins, there's the hotel manager, the barkeep, and the original man. And Joy reveals that they're not a part of Villain Guard anymore, they're something more than that. The star has grown inside her, and she is going to use it as a source of peace. She will get to be with her mother again. This isn't the bit I have a problem with, or bit I'm unsure about. She and everyone else goes flying off into the sky as the star, lighting up the sky, We see it at the various points in history, like when it passes in World War II, and one of the people who we met earlier said, "There is always hope." We see it passed by the Orient Express, and the woman rips up a note that she was going to send to her ex-lover. See it pass by Everest, and everyone's saying, "There is hope, we can get through this." As we come to the end of the episode, the Doctor realises where they are and says that, of course, Joy was the star. The star of everything, that star in the night sky, as it's revealed that he has stood outside Bethlehem in the year 1 AD. And I don't know how this is going to go down. I mean, they have hinted before that the Doctor has been involved in the story and the nativity before. If you remember back to 2007 with Voyage of the Damned, when Astrid asked, "This Christmas thing, what's it all about?" Long story. I should know, I was there. I got the last room. That I felt was subtle enough that they could get away with it, but here, having Joy be the Christmas star in the story of the nativity, I don't know how that's going to go down with people. I mean, I felt it was a nice gesture, and it was a really nice, happy moment. But, as I said, I'm not entirely sure how this is going to work, whether people are going to be upset about it, or... Tread carefully, Doctor Who, that's what I will say. But overall, I think Joy to the World, this was a lot of fun. It had some great moments, it had some good characters. Also, I will mention, also briefly, that come the end of the episode, Anita is going back in their hotel room sorting things out, and then she gets... The door to the Time Hotel opens up, and a woman comes through asking if she would like to work for them, saying that she came highly recommended. I do like that the Doctor didn't forget about her, and Steph Diwali as this character, I think she did really well. So, yeah. This was a story that could have, I think, may attract some attention for bad reasons, but I'm happy to see more of it. I'm happy to watch this again, and I think they managed to do some very sweet moments, some dodgy moments, and one moment that I'm not sure how it's going to play out. But still, Doctor Who at Christmas, what more do you want? Anyway, that's my quick little review of 2024's Joy to the World. We'll be coming up for Doctor Who next in 2025. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, until then, have a happy holidays, everyone.